In this video, we'll cover how to add dimensions to a raked elevation in WinBidPro, and we're going to use the free CAD tool that comes with WinBidPro. So this is needed if you don't have your own CAD software. So first thing we'll do, you can either click the CAD link in your menu tree, or we can open WinBidPro CAD by going to our file manager, looking in our C drive, going to WinBidPro, and then finding the application, which is WinBidPro CAD. So that's what I've done here since I'm opening it kind of separately. So once we get in, we're going to click the open icon, navigate to one of your jobs. So I would go to WinBidPro, my vendor, jobs, and then the job name. And it's going to show us any files that we've created. We can export DWG or DXF files from the shop drawing window. So that's what I've done here. I've created the drawings, and now I'm going to pick one and open it. So I can maximize this window. Now I've chosen to do the border or title page and title block, I guess we call it. So the first thing I need to do is explode the drawing. You'll notice when I hover over the drawing, it's all kind of connected. So I'm going to click on that and then go over to the explode icon. Up to the explode icon, the little bomb looking thing. Click explode. And now I can actually hover over individual entities of the drawing. So I'm going to zoom in. Now you'll notice that the dimensions are excessive. So let's get rid of some of these dimensions and I'll show you how to add your own. So I'm going to delete this dimension here, this one, and this one. So basically we're leaving this left side raked piece of glass in the first panel. Now I can actually click that dimension, click on that middle little box, the blue icon box, slide that over to where I want it, and move that dimension over. Now I'm going to zoom out, and we can delete this right jamb dimension, this other dimension of the door jamb. You can actually leave that one if you want, the left side of the door jamb, and then we'll have the wall jamb in the overall frame dimension. So I'm going to click on that dimension, click on that blue box, and slide that one over. This kind of just tightens everything up a little, makes it look better. Oops, missed it. So we're going to click the little blue. Now you'll notice it's letting me click on multiple items, but at least it lets me drag them individually. So now I've kind of resized my dimensions. I'm going to hit escape so that it unselects everything. Now the first thing I want to do is add my angle dimension to the top corner here. So that'll tell us what rake angle we have. So we're going to go over to the right. I'm going to look for the angular dimension icon. I'm going to click on that. And now one other thing we need to do, actually I'm going to hit escape. So I almost forgot to do this before, but you have to turn on the snap. So OSnap. I think it means object snap or something, but we want to select all objects. Let me bring this over so you can see it. Select all objects and click OK. We have to do that before we select a tool or a command. So now I'm going to select the angular dimension. Now with this particular dimension or command, we need to kind of zoom in and pick the corner point first. And it gives me this little square icon. So now I can click. And now I'm going to go down and click on the axes that I want this dimension to be applied to. So we're going to go, so it's basically snapping to that line, which is what I want it to do. And it's snapping to it here. Now we've got our dimension. So I'm going to click one more time. And it solidifies or places that dimension. Now we're going to work on the formatting of the dimensions after I add my vertical dimensions for the daylight openings of the height of the glass. So I'm going to zoom into this first piece of, or second piece of glass here, and let's go ahead and put the dimension in the left side here. So for this we want to go to vertical dimension over on the toolbar here. So I click vertical dimension. It's going to snap. Now I want to snap in this corner, so it's going to give me the box for a corner. and it's going to give me the box for that corner. And then I just slide over. So I'm not holding the mouse button down right now. I'm just sliding my mouse over. Now when I click, it places it. So each of those things I'm clicking, I'm not clicking and dragging really. I'm just clicking, moving the mouse, and then selecting the items. So let's zoom out. We're going to zoom back in and do this next piece of glass. So I have to actually reselect the vertical dimension tool to do this. So I'm going to reselect it, get my box for that corner. There's the box. I'm going to slide it over, and I'm going to click. So now I'm going to zoom out again, and we're going to do this last piece of glass. So then I click vertical dimension again. I go to the corner, click that, corner, click that, and slide it over. So now I clicked to place it where I want it. So I've got all my dimensions and my rake. I've almost got them all in the same. Let's zoom out, zoom in, so they're kind of centered more. Okay, so now what I want to do is format these dimensions. Let's make them look like the other ones. So for this, I'm actually going to escape out. So I hit cancel, I'm sorry, hit escape to cancel out of the last command I was in. Now I'm in the regular select kind of command in the CAD program. I'm going to select these dimensions one at a time. Just click them and move on to the next and click it. So now I've selected them all. And the first thing I want to do is change the style. So the standard style is automatically selected. I actually want to pick GDS standard, and that mimics the styling that we've done more in GDS. I'm going to move this one out a little bit more so it shows. There we go. So now there's a couple other things to change. It's got the green lines and it's got the oblique lines here, but it doesn't have the red dimension lines. So if you like those, dimension line color can be changed up here. And we can just, one of the standard colors is red, so we pick that, and that's changed our dimension lines to red. So the only other thing we might do here is this, now I'm going to hit escape to unselect all those things. So we pretty much got our dimensions looking like we want. Now this dimension here, let's hit escape and then unselect everything. We can change this angle so it has a little different accuracy. So if we go down to units, we've got fractions and inches. We might want to just say the decimal precision is only 2. And then I'm going to, so I entered 2 down for decimal precision. Now notice I've only selected and let's go to decimal, whatever this next one is, dim ADEC, and put a 2 in there. So that changes it so it's a little more readable for this angle dimension. Obviously our other vertical dimensions are just in inches, so we're fine with those. So I'm going to hit escape again so it unselects what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to zoom out and we can see that we've got our dimensions in there. Now, the one last thing is we can, if these little T's are in the way, we can just click on one, grab that blue little box, and move it somewhere where it's not really in the way. So I have to make sure I'm selecting, so I'm going to escape. There's the T. You can zoom in to make it easier if you need to. Like if I zoom in here, it's going to be easier for me to select that T. I'm going to escape again. There's the T selected. There's the box. Now I have to actually zoom out. So the good thing about CAD is it lets you zoom out while it still has an item selected. So the T is still selected. Now I can just click it to place it. So I'm going to escape again so that's not selected anymore. Now I can zoom out and you'll see that I've kind of got things the way I want them. I've got my dimensions moved over here. I've got my angle dimension here. And I've got my height dimensions of the left side daylights of all these raked pieces. So that's pretty much where we can leave this, and I can save it and print it at this point. Just be aware that if you regenerate your drawings in GDS and then you export them again to DWG or DXF, it's going to overwrite this file. So if you want to keep these changes, go ahead and save it as a different name and with save as. and you won't lose your changes. And I recommend doing this after you've done everything you need to do inside the program, because you'll notice that these changes don't carry back into the software. These are something that is separate than the GDS program. So we've started with a drawing that GDS created and modified it, but we're not able to bring the changes back into GDS. So just keep that in mind. Thanks very much.